Hello and welcome to Abstract AF. I'm Sneha Jaiswal and I'm going to be talking about Castlevania Nocturne Season 2. But first, if you remember, Season 1 had ended on a high note. It brought in the legendary vampire Alucard, the son of Dracula, in the climactic moments of the last episode with a picture-perfect scene in the sky, as if it were made for a high Renaissance classical painting. So Season 2 of Castlevania Nocturne kicks off with a flashback scene where Alucard is looking for something in an ancient Egyptian tomb, guarded by supernatural entities. Created by Clive Bradley and directed by Sam Deeds and Adam Deeds, Season 2 of Castlevania Nocturne is definitely an upgrade from Season 1 in terms of animation quality at least. In the previous season, scenes featuring characters walking often appeared a little choppy and glitchy, but that issue has definitely been resolved in the 2025 edition. Of course, the plot now is mostly about Richter Belmont, the descendant of the greatest vampire hunting family in the world, defeating megalomaniac vampire messiah Erzsebet Bathory, of course with some help from Alucard and allies. So there aren't a lot of twists and turns and complexities in the tale, but it's still a completely binge-worthy successor. Just like Season 1, this Season 2 has 8 episodes, and the first 4 are well-paced, packed with flashbacks to explain how the vampire Drolta played a crucial role in Erzsebet's rise from being an imprisoned human noblewoman to a dreaded vampire queen. The writers mix some fascinating Egyptian lore into the story, linking Drolta's origin with the Egyptian goddess of war. And of course, the French Revolution continues to be the background of the tale, and the voice cast is fantastic. Alucard proposes a mission to Paris, claiming the city might have an ancient relic that could help them fight Erzsebet's army. While Richter and Annette follow Alucard to Paris, the young magician Maria wants to stay back in town, primarily to seek vengeance for her mother Terra's death, or well, rather her conversion into a vampire. Meanwhile, Erzsebet continues to have the abbot craft hellish night creatures to become her pawns. I felt like episode 5 was the only episode where the pace dipped a little, focusing a little too much on Maria's struggle with grief, anger, and Juste Belmont's efforts to guide her. Since Maria doesn't join Richter and crew to Paris and is instead wrapped up in her own personal struggles, I wasn't very invested in her subplot, although her character arc does play a crucial part in the overall war between Erzsebet and revolutionaries. And thankfully, unlike some of the eyesore neon monsters of the older Castlevania show, the wicked supernatural creatures of Nocturne are much easier on the eyes. One can spot some manga and anime influences in the animation, especially during the bloody battles between the characters, which was an exciting visual spectacle. For those hoping for a repeat of the witty, humorous banter and brotherhood that the original Castlevania series had, well, you do get to see some glimpses through Alucard and Richter Belmont. However, Alucard this time is more of a tired ancient uncle dealing with the kids. The last 2 episodes are entirely focused on the final war between the vampires trying to seize Paris and those defending it. Honestly, some of it did feel a little prolonged, but the killer music makes all the madness and the endless swooshing of swords, magic whips, guns, dragons, yes, dragons, and monsters pretty exciting. Gritty animation, lots of violent fights, all accompanied by some really great background music, makes Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 worth a watch. If you loved Season 1, you'll probably be more than happy to watch this one too. All its high points easily overshadow its flaws. This was a near immaculate season. You can stream the series on Netflix. That's all for this edition. Talk to you the next time.